This is the summary for Lesson 9, which was Moves in Parallel. This is still Unit 1, 8th grade. And so what they want to remind you of is that if you go through the 3 transformations, translation, reflection, rotation, what happens primarily with a 180-degree rotation is the main thing that we're looking at. But here's a review of translation. So if you translate line segment A and B along line M, where does it go? And goes right there. So that's a translation. How about a rotation? So if you take line segment A, B, and rotate it 180 degrees, since the center of rotation, which is F, is on the line, then both points A and B are going to land on the line on the opposite side an equal distance from the center of rotation. So B prime ends up here and A prime ends up there. So the center of rotation is F, 180-degree rotation, and they end up there. Reflection. So if you're reflecting over this dotted line, so B is going to move in a perpendicular direction, perpendicular to the line of reflection, which means at a right angle, and it's going to be an equal distance on the other side of that line of reflection. So it's a right angle, perpendicular, and equal distance on the other side. A is going to move at a right angle, so it's perpendicular. It's going to end up at an equal distance on the other side. So it's B prime and A prime. And finally, what about those 180-degree rotations? So if I take A and C and rotate them 180 degrees, so A is going to rotate around and end up here. C is going to rotate around and end up here. Remember that if this is the center of rotation, A is out here, then its corresponding point, A prime, is going to be on the opposite side. This is for a 180-degree rotation. It's going to be on the opposite side, an equal distance from the center of rotation, and the same with C. You just draw a line through that center of rotation, and it's an equal distance on the opposite side. So that rotates around. So this angle right here, this 140-degree angle, is going to rotate around 180 degrees and end up on the other side. The same with the 40-degree angle. This 40-degree angle, actually it's not formed by A or C, so let's skip that for just a second. So that 140-degree angle rotates to the other side. It is equal. So if you have 2 lines that intersect, the angles that are on the opposite side of the intersection, so if you draw a line through the intersection, those 2 angles are always going to be equal. They are called vertical angles. And the same thing happens with the 40 degrees. It's on the opposite sides of the intersection, so they will always be equal. So you draw a line through, it's the green triangle there, you draw a line through that. So on the opposite side through the intersection, that angle will be equal. So this is 40 degrees, 40 degrees. This is 140 degrees and 140 degrees. So vertical angles through the intersection, opposite side. That's the summary for Lesson 9, Moves in Parallel.